Please welcome to the stage, Andy Blankenbuehler. Hey everybody. Hey, my name's Andy Blankenbuehler. I'm a choreographer. I'm best well known for choreographing Hamilton and Bandstand and In the Heights. And today we're going to talk about how, by combining dance styles of all of my predecessors, I, Andy Blankenbuehler, has created a never-before-seen style of choreography that tells the story of a given moment just as well as the lyrics of the song. Let's jump right into it. I was born March 7th, 1970 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Woo, Ohio! I graduated in 1984 from the Nativity School in Cincinnati, and I graduated in 1988 from the St. Xavier High School. I also got my bachelor's degree from Southern Methodist University. Where? Not in Ohio. Dallas, Texas, baby! My first professional experience was in West Side Story at the Paper Mill Playhouse when I was about 20 years old. I also started there choreographing Burley Grimes at the New World Stage Theater. I was in the dance ensemble and On the Town. Woo, dance ensemble! In 2002, I was the original Keto and Gypsy dancer in the premiere of Mana La Mancha. In 1999, I was the original Double J in the premiere of Saturday Night Fever. Woo! I was also a dancer in Fosse. Woo, Fosse dance. And I was also an original dancer in Contact in 1999. I was in the original cast of Steel Pier in 1997 as couple number 8. I also premiered in Guys and Dolls in 1992 as a replacement for one of the Havana dance specialties and Guys. Other theatrical works of mine include choreographing A Little Princess by Andrew Lippa, choreographing Waiting for the Moon by Frank Wildhorn, the City Encore's production of both The Apple Tree and A Wonderful Life at Paper Mill Playhouse, and I've also staged concert work for Elton John, Bette Midler. I have directed and choreographed and co-conceived the hit Caesar's Palace production, Nights on Broadway. Now, time to talk about my choreography career. Alrighty, most recent. I have choreographed the Hamilton movie, coming 2021. Everybody loves Hamilton. We all know that I choreographed Hamilton back in 2016 as it premiered on Broadway. I'm also well known for having choreographed Cats the movie in 2019. Sorry it didn't turn out that well, though. In 2019, I've also done choreography for the TV miniseries Fosse Verdon, and I'm also well known for having choreographed and directed Bandstand. Now movie coming to theaters soon. Next up, I am also well known for choreographing the TV remake of A Dirty Dancing. I did the choreography for the revival of Cats in 2016 on Broadway. Again, we all know Hamilton. Woo! I also did choreography for the 2012 revival of Annie. I did choreography and I directed Bring It On, the musical, in 2012. In 2011, I did musical staging for The People in the Picture. 2010 included So You Think You Can Dance choreography. That's right, I was on TV. In 2009, I choreographed 9 to 5 the musical. Working with Dolly Parton was great. In 2009, I also choreographed The Wiz. I'm also well known for choreographing In the Heights in 2008. Woo! In the Heights. All right. In 2007, I choreographed Desperately Seeking Susan on the West End. And in 2006, I choreographed the revival of The Apple Tree. Some of my thoughts on my choreography include in discussing Hamilton with one of my best friends, Lin-Manuel Miranda. I am well known for choreographing many of his shows, including Hamilton and In the Heights, and we have worked together on many a project. I have said that, and I quote, "The surround of bodies has to inform what you're supposed to be looking at. Like Impressionism, you look at one thing in focus and everything around it points to it. That's what we do with our lyric. Because the show is about true and deep, deep emotion, the movement is often very strong and very wide and very low to the floor. Dancing with that intensity isn't very easy to sustain for almost 3 hours a night. This is why, in Room Where It Happens, there are a couple of peaks that kind of stand out, like when Burr jumps off the table at the very end, and the ensemble does this big, sort of Fosse-esque putting on the Ritz kind of step. Even though it's small and cramped, the energy just kind of spills out. So I think those moments are really enjoyable for the cast, but they're really enjoyable for the audience because there's a lot of pressure for the audience to be leaning. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? That is when you give them the moments of sighs, like in the rap battles, for example. This is what I try to accomplish with my choreography. Lin-Manuel Miranda is also very great at finding new ways to repeat themes throughout his shows. He constantly says, I'm not throwing away my shot, I'm not throwing away my shot. And this gives me 3 or 4 times to try different interpretations, to take different stabs at the same set of movements. I can interpret it any way I want because Lin so successfully interweaves these plots throughout the show many, many times. He also says that myself, Andy Blankenbuehler, I also say that I go to my dancers and I say, this isn't the step, but the step feels like this. Those dancers often have so much better style than I have that they immediately make it look so much more heightened than I could make it. I like to go into rehearsals with 60 to 70% of the numbers finished. This is our path of battle. It might be wrong, but let's go there first. Dancers usually like that kind of thing. I also credit a lot of my choreographical style to people like Michael Jackson, Fred Astaire, Jerome Robbins, Bob Fosse, my high school dance teacher, and basically anyone who has ever influenced me. I would sum up my choreography in the following way. I love to see how stories can be told with physicalities, how you can physically create turmoil, create stress, create resolve. Can you do it outside of the lyrics? This is what I try to accomplish. Now, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think it's time to talk about all of the awards I've won. Awards. Too many in my face. Okay. So, some of the awards I have won include, I have been nominated for 5 Tony Awards, all for choreography, and I have won 3 of them. I won choreography awards for Bandstand. I won choreography awards for Hamilton, of course, everybody knows that. And I also won Best Choreography for In the Heights back in 2008. But my accomplishments are not limited to this. I have also won the Outer Critics Circle Award in 2008 for Outstanding Choreography for In the Heights. I got the Lucy Lortel Award for Outstanding Choreography for In the Heights. I also received the 2008 Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Choreography in the Heights. In 2008, as I said, I also received Best Choreography for In the Heights. In 2008, I received the Los Angeles Drama Critics Circle Award for choreography in 9 to 5 the musical. In 2009, I won the Backstage Garland Award for choreography for 9 to 5. In 2012, I won the same award for Bring It On the musical. In 2012, I earned the Los Angeles Drama Critics Circle Award for choreography for Bring It On the musical. In 2015, I won the Lucille Lortel Award for Outstanding Choreography in, you guessed it, Hamilton, baby. I also won the 2015 Drama Desk Special Award for Hamilton, which I had never before received and was a great honor. Before presenting it to me, they said, and I quote, "For his inspired and heart-stopping choreography in Hamilton, which is indispensable to the musical's storytelling. His body of work is versatile, yet a dynamic and fluid style is consistently evident. When it's time to, quote, take his shot, Blankenbuehler hits the bullseye." It's almost like Hamilton was fantastic or something. I also won, in 2016, as I previously stated, the Tony Award for Best Choreography for Hamilton. And today, while working on the movie adaptation of Cats, Hamilton, and Bandstand, I am also teaching on and off at the Broadway Dance Center. I hope to inspire my students to reach a new understanding and mastery of musicality and acting performance through their dancing. I also like to begin my class with a technique warm-up combining elements of classical, jazz, ballet, Pilates, and yoga, including common physical therapy techniques. The warm-up is especially ideal for dancers working through injuries while attempting to push their bodies and minds to top performance quality. Through my unique choreographic style, I attempt to give my students an overview of the versatility and self-assurance necessary for a Broadway dancer to make it in the theater scene today. Now, I will dance off with some of my dancers and best friend Lin-Manuel Miranda. Let's dance, baby. Let's give it up for Andy Blankenbuehler, huh? Crazy that we could get him to come in and speak. Anyway, he's gone off while I'm going to be teaching some choreography from Yorktown from Hamilton by Andy Blankenbuehler, of course. So, we're going to start off. We're doing, Yorktown. It's Hamilton's very first battle where he's leading everybody. It's this really important moment. So we're going to start from, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. So we start out, the last move was just up here. So from up here, we go, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Because we're trying to get this slow motion effect for the I imagine death so much. Yeah? So we've just been up here for the last move prior, so it's up here. I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Now we go, is this where it gets me on my feet, enemy ahead of me? So we're saying that, we're not scared of whatever's gonna come up next. Andy Blankenbuehler is very literal with his dance moves, trying to portray the exact lyrics with his choreography. So again, from the start, we've just been up here, so it's, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Is this where it gets me on my feet, enemy ahead of me? And he continues, so if this is the end of me, this is sort of like, cutting off the neck, beheading, whatever. So if this is the end of me, now he does, at least I have a friend with me. And Andy Blankenbuehler has talked about how one of his favorite things to do at the end of the day is watch the Yankees with his son. So that's his kind of like friendship moment. So if this is the end of me, and we're channeling that baseball moment, so we're taking the ball and we're passing the baseball behind us and bringing it in for the pitch. So if this is the end of me, at least I have a friend with me. Next up is going to be weapon in my hand in command. So from here, we're going to go weapon in my hand, you're going to step, and instead of throwing the pitch, you're going to point to the rifle that's on your shoulder. So it's weapon in my hand. Now for command, it's going to be here. For like the epaulets that are normally on the apparel of soldiers and that kind of muscular shape of the trapezius muscles. So in command, and then it's with my friends with me. We're sort of in this marching position. So from here, we're in this position ready to march, and then we stop because he remembers that he's got a wife and a pregnant wife at home. So he thinks about Eliza as he rolls back and then comes in to sort of point to his head because he's talking about Eliza and he's thinking about Eliza. So that whole sequence goes from the friend with me, weapon in my hand, in command with my friends with me. Then I remember my Eliza's expecting me. Now this is going to be our last section here after the expecting me. Not only that, my Eliza's expecting. So he's thinking about Eliza and he goes, not only that, it's like this memory is controlling him. It's like all the way up here, but it's still controlling what he does. So you're going to grab that memory and then flick it downwards. And that'll be the end of the combo. So slowly, all together, you start up here from the last move, and it goes, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Is this where it gets me on my feet? Sorry, screwed that up. So it's from the top. You start up here. I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Is this where it gets, I don't know why I keep screwing this up. I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Is this where it gets me on my feet, enemy ahead of me? If this is the end of me, sorry. If this is the end of me, at least I have a friend with me, weapon in my hand, in command with my friends with me. Then I remember my Eliza's expecting. Not only that, my Eliza's expecting. And that's the end, okay? So, first 8 counts is that solid, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Is this where it gets me on my feet and a me ahead of me? Those are the first 8 counts. The next 8 counts are gonna be, if this is the end of me, at least I have a friend with me, weapon in my hand, in command with my friends with me. And then the third count of 8 is going to be, then I remember my Eliza's expecting me. Not only that, my Eliza's expecting. Cool? It's kind of hard to count out Andy Blankenbuehler's choreography because he so literally moves with the words, especially in Yorktown, that it's all kind of, it flows through the beats, so it's easier to do it with the lyrics. So one last time, I'll back up, make sure you can see me. So one last time, we've just been here, so it's, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Is this where it gets me? On my feet, enemy ahead of me. If this is the end of me, at least I have a friend with me, weapon in my hand, in command with my friends with me. Then I remember my Eliza's expecting me. Not only that, my Eliza's expecting. I don't know if maybe my camera angle's cutting out. The hand motion at the end is, it's coming up, and then you're grabbing it and flicking it down. I'm not sure if you can see it with the angle of the camera. But yeah, so one final time, regular speed, ready? So it's, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Is this where it gets me? On my feet, the enemy ahead of me. If this is the end of me, at least I have a friend with me, weapon in my hand, in command with my men with me. Not only that, and then I remember my Eliza's expecting me. Not only that, my Eliza's expecting. Yeah? Cool. Let's do it with the music.
So the whole thing looks like this.